The only way that I get into heaven, this is what Jesus is trying to help you realize, is it's not by my own righteousness. Jesus, it's if you give me yours. That's the whole point. And if you don't get that, listen, if you don't get that, what's going to happen is you are going to think that being a Christian is all about doing the right things and being a good enough person, you trying hard enough and you doing more. And if you do all of that good enough, what's going to happen is you can obtain this kind of false sense of security that because you do those good things good enough that, you fit into the church crowd and all's good and the kingdom's yours and God's fine with you. And what's going to happen, man, is that's going to motivate you for a little while, but then what? You're not going to be able to keep up. Because what's going to happen is you read the Bible, you hear these stories of these amazing people and Peter and John and Paul and David slaying the giant and all of this stuff. You see this kind of person that you're supposed to be becoming, right? And you're a Christian, you're supposed to be a leader, you're supposed to do all of this stuff, but you can't measure up. Because the pressure is too great. Why? Because you think, man, that you're the one that has to make yourself into that kind of person. And what Jesus is doing is he just blew that all up out of the water. He's blowing all of that all out of the water here in the first 3 verses of Matthew chapter 5. And so what happens is you figure Christianity doesn't work. And so you move on. And I've seen this happen so many times with so many people that I went to school with, that I know, that I love very much. Is that was your version of Christianity? Maybe you're watching this now. I'm so glad you're here. Most of the time what happens is you become agnostic, meaning you believe in God. You kind of ditch Jesus, but you believe that God is real. Maybe you're just not sure. You don't know who he is or how to get there. This is ironic, is you hold on to your Christian values, which is kind of interesting to me. Like you'll take some of the stuff that Jesus said and you'll keep it as like a core value of your life. Like it's all about, love your neighbor as yourself, respect other people, be a decent human being. You'll take all of that, but you just kind of ditch Jesus. What's going on? Why did that happen? That's because, man, you're under the Moses religious system. And you don't understand that Jesus is the new and he's the better Moses. And this is the difference, man, between Christianity and every other religion, right? Every other religion is about, in worldview and philosophy, even secularism, man, I don't have time to get into that, but it's true with even secularism, is that this is what it's all about. This is what you have to do to get to God on top of the mountain. God's up there. You have to do these things. You can't do these things. And once you do all of that good enough, then you can get to God on top of the mountain. That's every other worldview and religion out there. This is the difference this is Christianity. God comes down the mountain himself, Matthew chapter 1 through 4, and God himself takes you and I up the mountain with him, Matthew chapter 5.